Good evening, folks. My name is Rayan Arif, and good evening, judges. I'm the founder of FundingTree.com, and FundingTree is a crowdfunding platform. And our vision is to help fund more deals faster. Go back. Sorry. I've been in real estate a long time. This beautiful building behind me is a project that I developed in downtown Houston. And we had, it was a $65 million that we were developing downtown Houston. We had all the approvals lined up. We had all the investors. They absolutely loved this project. Unfortunately, when it came to funding, we were unable to find the right match for this product. Now, I spent a year away from my family. I was determined to find the right investor for this project. Now, other real estate sponsors, they tell us that this is a similar story. They have the same problem. Now, investors, on the other hand, they tell us that it's really hard to find deals to match our criteria. Now, why is this happening? 2012 gave birth to crowdfunding, 2012, the Jobs Act gave birth to crowdfunding. And as more and more platforms come online, they're flooding the market with thousands of deals, and the problem is getting worse. It's getting harder and harder to match deals with investors. There have been several new solutions to hit the marketplace, but none of these actually address the problem. Finding a complete solution is the reason why we exist today. Our solution, we are building the first fully integrated marketing, technology, and investment banking platform. Combining these three elements is unique to us. We target investors based on their investment criteria and only present deals that match their criteria. We're in the fastest growing segment of crowdfunding, commercial real estate. Our segment grew by 150% in 2015 to $2.57 billion. Now, compared to the size of the market, this indicates that there's much more room for growth. Our revenue model is straightforward. Our target is to raise $100 million in our first year. And based on our three profit centers, marketing, lending, and investment banking, we believe we can generate over $1.5 million in year one. Our go-to-market strategy, we have deep existing relationships. We know how to mine data from industry sources, and we're building strategic alliance and market intelligence. And we have access to thousands of sponsors, wealth managers, family offices, and banking institutions, and we plan to leverage all of those. In June 2016, we launched phase one of our site. Our priority now is to generate revenue. We recently signed a milestone agreement with our investment banking partner. In August, we will be launching a marketing campaign, and we are currently shortlisting 4 sponsors based on each asset class. We hope to fund our first deal in January 2017. Our team, this truly is a dream team. We believe we have the perfect mix of expertise needed in real estate, marketing, finance, and technology. And these are just some of the companies we've helped to make an impact. We hope you'll join us on our journey to help us fund more deals faster. FundingTree, the first fully integrated real estate crowdfunding platform. I thank you for your time.
I'll sort of start because this is the world I've come from for the last few years, and then I'll leave it to these guys to kind of give some critique because we sat a little bit. The one thing I was just kind of wondering, I personally love the industry and that your focus is on real estate because I think that's the where it's going to grow the fastest. But you mentioned you have access to 10,000 wealth managers. What exactly does that mean?
Well, we've been building data intelligence for several years, and we've also partnered with a strategic partner that actually sources that kind of information, data mine, and that's how we have access to them.
So you have their contact information?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Just have a quick question. With regards to crowdfunding, how far have you guys gotten along in understanding the different subtleties of what it requires to be a part of a crowdfunding campaign, actually being able to, how much they can actually invest in a campaign, changes, are you guys only, I guess maybe, are you opening up to non-accredited investors or is it only accredited?
At the moment, we are focused on accredited investors.
Okay.
However, we have a partnership with an investment bank, an affiliate partnership, and we can do Reg A, and we plan to do that down the road, but at the moment, we don't think the market is ready for that yet.
Yeah, I'm curious, in terms of getting your first deals, and really on the investor side, what's different between the way you're going to get the first investor and, let's say, the 10th investor? How are you actually going to access these folks, and to what extent are they already leveraging these types of platforms?
Okay. So in order to target the right investor, we are focused on the right investment opportunity. So, as we said, we're looking at sponsors that specifically are in a real estate industry space. They have a specific criteria, and we are then aligning it with the right investors that are typically likely to invest in that asset class. We've already done some research with investors that have already said that we want to expand our pool from our traditional marketplace because we want to utilize the general solicitation. In other words, we want to be able to have access to all the deals that are out there.
So mechanical question. Go back to that building. So that's did you say $40 million building?
$65 million.
$65 million building. So if you were to fund that building, would you fund the entire 65?
No.
Okay.
This is a good example that typically the sponsors that we're looking at going forward, they have a portfolio of these types of projects. What they do is they raise money based on the portfolios and the strength of the sponsor, and they will allocate typically about 30% of that raise towards that project. And the rest is usually senior debt, which is also where our lending market model comes in.
So speaking myself being an investment banker, I would just say the one thing that comes to mind without pushing into KKR or foreign models would be why would anybody who has a typical backing and the typical team already need you in order to source this kind of deal?
That's a great question. We've already talked to sponsors even today. In fact, half the time I spend talking to sponsors about coming on our platform. Every sponsor right now wants to know how they can leverage the wider market using the 506C, which is the general solicitation. So we've already started that process. We're very confident. We've identified the sponsors that want to be part of this, and they want to broaden their network to reach more investors.
And you feel comfortable with the target market that you're approaching?
Very comfortable. I believe that particular target market is not being addressed by most of the crowdfunding community.
Thank you.
Quick critique then, because I think you did a great job. A lot of crowdfunding lingo like issuer and sponsor and things that like we might know being in the world, but some other people might not know. So I like to kind of get the lingo down when you present in front of groups of people.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that, sponsor is a real estate company that owns this, and that's typically the term we use.
Great job.